Denmark to Brazil. We went from the Danish derby into the Brazilian derby as we move things over to the North American region here at the DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. And my, oh my, this might not be the game you expected, because normally it's MIBR we talk about oh so positively in these things, but I feel like we're going to be heavily favored on the Furia side. But to get all that out the way and to get into this game, I've got Potter and Pint to talk things through. And guys, starting off with, what do we even make of this crazy matchup?
Good question. I think it's going to be, we just talked about it before, James. I think it's going to be a hectic game of Counter-Strike. I think both teams right now are in a position where they have to play a little bit scrappy. I think Furia, they just love to play that Counter-Strike, all hearts out, super aggressive, flying around, taking a lot of individual decisions. Whereas MIBR, as you so correctly said, James, they don't have a choice at the moment. They have to buy into that one. So I think Furia is going to have a game on their hands right now where they should be feeling very comfortable.
I have to agree, and I think Furia are feeling absolutely comfortable, not only because they beat MIBR just recently a few days ago, but because each time these two have met, Furia have bested MIBR every single time. So, absolutely, sorry, I just lost my train of thought, James.
No,
take it away.
It's all right. It's all right. So when we're looking at all of this, right, you see about Furia and they're the explosive team, but they're looking like the best Brazilian team we have at the moment. They definitely have the skill to make it all work in there. My question is whether they can get the job done, but we're going to find out a little bit more from them to see what they've got to say about this matchup.
Against MIBR, I would say it's 50-50. I would say both teams are very strong and anything can happen on the server. But I think we have an advantage against them because our playstyle just fits better against them, and it's very hard for them to play against us. So we have a little advantage there.
Oh, the flashes are in and the players are out and about. Vinny waiting though. They're going to drop right into him. He's got three. The bomb at his feet swaps out the gun. He can't find.
Anybody asks me who's the better Brazilian team? It's just simple as. Right now it's us, it's Furia, but if MIBR wins against us or have a good run in some tournaments, they can beat that team again. So just a matter of who gets there first.
Up damage, and Vinny can even go for the knife. Nice shot from Taco, it's meaningless though. Furia pick it up, 15-8.
For us, it's just another team gonna face against, and we prepare just like normal.
Furia straight chilling there, just sounding like, yeah, we're just going to prep. It's a game like normal. They don't even care that it's MIBR. But looking at MIBR, you got to say, even with a new player joining, they've not had much time, and I don't think individual skill is going to be enough here.
No, and I think that's a perfect line to pick it up from, James. The fact that Furia don't respect MIBR at all. MIBR is supposed to be the biggest brand within Brazilian Counter-Strike, supposed to be the top dogs, supposed to be one of the best teams in the world. It's been a while since we've seen MIBR produce consistent results. So the fact that a team like Furia don't even think that this is a big matter, going up against MIBR, that tells quite a story about how big of a fall they're taking as recently. Furia, a great team, lots of productive players, lots of great players in there. MIBR, hard to say, man.
Sounds like someone's knocking at your door, Pimp, there, mate. So what I'm going to do is kick us straight to a video, and then we can work out what the hell's going on. So let's see what MIBR had to say ahead of this one.
Playing Furia is becoming a very difficult task. They're such a young team, and they're playing super well. They have their own style as well, the way they approach the game. So it's very challenging, but every new opportunity to face them is a new opportunity to start changing the way this rivalry has been shaping up. So I face every matchup with a new opportunity to start winning.
Huge gap. Penny's back is exposed. Yuri can trade far. He gets caught dropping off. Fallen, however, does find a way into...
Normally, when you change players, you have to really change other stuff inside the team as well, like swap some positions, do some sort of this kind of stuff. But when you find a player that are ready to step in and do all the roles that the other player was doing, is much easier. And I think this is the case right now.
Shot is loud. Fallen can hear it coming, and no problem. Fallen 3 in the round.
We had not much time yet to integrate our newest member, but it wasn't hard to put in positions that he was already playing for. So basically, his integration is going to be much smoother than normally it is. So I'm very satisfied with that. And let's see how it's going to go.
The The rivalry between these two is real, but Potter, do we really see a chance in this one for MIBR? Because we know what these players can do, but we haven't seen it for quite some time.
We haven't, but you know, I do have a lot of faith in this MIBR, not only because the individuals of Fur and Fallen have been hitting at their stride all for a few months now, but also because TRK, I'm hopeful that his storyline is going to be much different as the new fifth of MIBR. Looking at his past history, he's 24 years old. I think maturity is going to play a huge role in this individual's success and allowing him to just be an asset to this MIBR's team instead of a downfall, right? I think MIBR's fifths in the past have kind of hindered the growth of this entirety of the MIBR squad. So I think the maturity level of TRK is going to play a huge role in making MIBR a lot more successful than we could have said about them in the past.
Well, these vetoes are going straight through. And here we had for MIBR, right? They had to choose between Nuke or Vertigo. They decided to ban out Nuke, and we get Vertigo as the opening pick from Furia. Obvious things here, but what do we make of this all?
I think it looks very good for Furia. You know, Vertigo, definitely the main pick for them. A map that allows them to play very aggressive, both on the CT side and T side. Train, MIBR, we all know it. Was it 3 years ago, 4 years ago with FNX, you know, one of the best teams in the world on Train, having that legendary record of winning 19 games in a row. It's been a while since. Maybe they'll try to re-initiate that. We know they can play it at a high level, and we know Fallen is going to be vital. But apart from that, looking at the maps, looking at the veto, I think MIBR is going to have their hands full.
Potter, what do you make of it all? Do you think this is going to be all in the Furia favor?
I do. I think it's all going to be in Furia's favor, but I'm interested about that Vertigo because, as Jacob mentioned, this is a rematch. This just happened just a couple of days ago. The only downside is with TRK being so fresh onto this roster, I'm sure that his plate is so full, he's not going to be very valuable on this map, but the rest of them, the four, they surely have gone over exactly what their mistakes were. That scoreline, I believe it was a 16-10 loss. It was pretty close. The gun rounds, they were neck and neck. So MIBR definitely have a shot, and they're trained. As Jacob mentioned once again, these players, their veteranship, it should surely show through. So this series, it's still up in the air for me.
Okay, well, let's see how this series go, because I can hear Twitch chat already. They're saying, analysts, stop talk, and that's exactly what we're going to do. But it's time for a break, and then we come back. We're getting into the series, and it's going to be Scrawny and Launders taking you through all the action once again.
The good old Brazilian bonanza. It's coming up next, folks. MIBR versus Furia with an exciting new roster change for MIBR to be playing around as well. Mohan, we're back with DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. We've shifted to the North American tournament, and that means one BO3 is what remains here today. I'm excited for this one.
You know, I love telling stupid jokes where people can laugh at me, and one of those was saying when Mayern missed a shot that he put a bit too much mayonnaise on that one, and sadly, I have to close that door. This will be the last time I get to say that. Unfortunately, yeah, sad. Yeah, it is sad. It's sad for a lot of us. Okay, right, guys.
That gaggle of geese.
But what is your thoughts on this TRK switch? I'm curious what you think about.
I think it's pretty exciting. Think about TRK as a player, right? This isn't somebody who's coming out of nowhere. He has played on Team 1 for 1,467 days. No other roster has he popped up of. For the fact of the matter, in years, that is 4.019178 years. Same place, every single day. And now he gets to make that leap. So I think if we're talking about players who have kind of put in their due diligence in order to step up into the next caliber of play, that it's about damn time this guy gets a shot somewhere else within the Brazilian scene. And I'm excited for him for MIBR. And again, I think I think it's a good time to be making roster changes and trying new things, because we're in a new environment where there is this element of discomfort for a lot of usual LAN experienced teams. So kick them while they're down. And I think MIBR might be able to do that. Unfortunately for them, though, Mohan, with all of that put behind, they're playing versus Furia, who I think has been one of the most prime examples in North America of teams stepping up to the plate in this online world we've returned to. So no matter what success story may develop with MIBR in the end, it is going to be overshadowed for the moment by just how good Furia look.
Yeah, that's a good point. Case Dorado specifically was amazing in their last series. Second map, he only had 60 ADR, but he was like 19 and 13. And so there was basically no stopping him when it came to actually finishing off kills. And yeah, Furia is brought up on the desk that they play with no respect when it comes to MIBR. So we'll see if that can change it all with TRK on the team. That's the storyline of the hour.
That's the big one. And also, obviously, Art. The aggression, the space creation. The guy is kind of an untamable beast when it comes to the entries. So, welcome to the big leagues. TRK ate the Glock shot. Vinny able to double this one up, but there's a lot of bodies here for MIBR. They still have 2 players inside a short, and they have to keep their heads on a swivel, peeking back and forth. Still 1 up for element of surprise. Cuts off a single player in the 1v3, has a chance to re-engage, but decides to take the duel, and the 2v1 flex for Furia is what gets them first pistol.
Yeah, there's all these micro wars going on in that battle to get up onto the A site. And the first one here is Vinny. He actually grabs 2 with this Glock. Really nicely done by Vinny. Everybody else moving on, and you've got 2 players that are trying to watch each other's backs, but you're both between a crossfire. Fallen is doing most of the heavy lifting, and Fur's just there to trade. He luckily gets 1, but Fur can't finish off the 1v2 on top of trading. It's just a bit too much to ask of him. So Furia up 1-0. We go on to the A ramp once again, and here's where the attention will be turned. And yeah, I like what you said about Art. I'd say he is so creative, and I feel like Art is such an appropriate name for him because of that.
Yes.
And no, I mean, maybe it's not a coincidence, but I see a lot of Fallen style of opping in Art's opping as well. How wide he takes angles, how aggressively and comfortably he plays at all times with the op. And I think that's what helps him be successful and pull off such amazing plays constantly.
Here he is, creating space inside of CT spawn, really messing around with the CT's in connector, but Fur will best him with just that pistol. Unfortunately for the counter-terrorists, the only B defense came in the form of Taco, and he is down. So Yuri mows 3. Fallen and TRK still looking to pick up some pieces here. Little to lose, except now that they've grabbed that AK, they stutter step, but they are not falling back until now. So chewing through their options, Mohan, but they have decided to let this one slide. 2-0 the start for Furia.
Yeah, it was too tough. There was too much fat on the steak. They couldn't chew through it, so they're going to give it up save. They've got good guns to save. It's fine. I mean, the MAC-10's not amazing, but at least they want to protect the AK. And utility belt here for Mr. Fallen. Two-Face Toledo. See which one we get today.
I played Minecraft the other day with Taco, and
That's
that was a lot of
thing
fun.
to be able to say.
Yep, I'm just going to leave it there. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, that VOD is available on the internet if you can find it. So he really did play Minecraft with Taco. It was a cool thing.
Here we have
most ambitious crossover since Infinity
that no
War.
one knew they needed. We've got the pistols, Mohan. Just a couple pistols added to what was saved, so it's really not all too much to talk about, except for our eyes fall on TRK. The first time, getting a chance to see him in this system. I like that he's tasked with that solo AK, but not going to be in a position to really make it work. He's still over towards that opposite side of the map as to where Furia are right now. They're waiting out the smokes. They've found Taco. Poor guy never stood a chance. All the while, Penny, he's getting aggressive at the top of middle. And by charging headstrong in this direction, they've got themselves a really good pinch coming in on B.
I really want to see as many B takes as we can. I want to see different approaches to it with mid or just full on B site. And oh my God, Fallen. Nice couple of deagle shots here. Yuri going to be the next up to the plate. He gets taken down by TRK. This round is back on. It looks like the CTs will start to move in. There's still half of the time left on the defuse.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those moments that's like, it's tantalizing to run in here and try and get on top of that bomb, but with the smoke grenade on top of it too, somebody could theoretically stick. The spam though, the spam damage and whatever comes with it, just looking to rack up costs here versus Furia. It's more as if MIBR are looking to hinder their opponents as opposed to succeed, but they get nothing further. No kills, and both of the survivors for Furia are good.
Yeah, really the sad goosebumps ending to the story, the one where you really get nothing and it's just tragic the whole time. You and your teammate died because you got 3 kills and you thought you could win the round, but no kit. They got to the bomb way too late to get the 10-second defuse, and with the smoke, that gave him even more confidence to try it. So all these kind of positives that played into them getting themselves killed. TRK, first man up to bat on the A ramp. Will he get a kill? It looks like he sees one. Player drops in from below. That's Art, gets the better of him. Some damage and a couple of name tags, but not a kill.
Ouch. And the frag volley follows suit. I mean, there was a world there where TRK gets the opening kill and MIBR could play off of the 5v4, but because he had already expended some of his ammunition, shooting the sides of the smoke, trying to go for those deeper spams, that when he finally has confirmation, when somebody emerges and he sees him, he doesn't hit it with the bullets that were left. And even though he does substantial damage, can't finish off the kill. The magazine runs dry. So unfortunate. But that's the cost you pay when you go for the spam shots. So now it's going to unfold into the B pinch. Poor Taco back here, minimal cover, fire at his feet, smoke in his face, and a teammate on the back to try and hold off this construction split. But both of them die. So the B site falls into the hands of Furia, and down goes Fallen. That's a hell of an angle.
Didn't even look like you could see a head there, just his arm sticking out. It's a nice round from Furia. You know, they play it very relaxed. They go back to mid in the 5v3, and I like that approach because first of all, mid is lesser played when you're low on numbers because it's not a site that you can plant on. And so if Furia want to entertain the idea of mid, they just have to give Taco to something to pay attention to on the B ramp while they work on that and then trying to find out where his teammate is. And it's technically an overstack from MIBR towards B, so they're anticipating it, but still, because they were low on numbers, Furia were able to take their advantage and press it into a win.
Art towards short, dropped by the Deagle of Fallen. Art's one of these players who you've got to constantly keep your eyes on him when the round starts over at this A site, because every once in a while he just throws himself up short faster than you can keep track of. But right now the trade train's not going the way of Furia. In fact, they've lost the entirety of their A push, and now it falls onto Henny and Vinny to try and clamber back into this 2 versus 3. They change direction, sprint towards B, and what are they going to find here? Taco's chilling on the site. He's been seen and swiftly swept under the rug. Nice precision there from Vinny. He's got the bomb too, so he'll be tasked to plant. Gets that in with ease. Remember, Fallen barely alive, but still well equipped. He is the only reason that MIBR are really in this round. 3 kills currently to his name, and he's going to take the forefront of this push. Both the CTs trying to get around the green box, but Vinny, he's got him dead to rights. A headshot to finish off.
He's amazing. He's been great on these anti-ecos, first of all, getting a lot of kills by himself, whereas teammates did such a terrible job trying to trade in this area. Fallen, he does have a deagle, and these body shots are extremely powerful, but, you know, 1-for-1 versus these pistols up close is unacceptable from, like, a kill standpoint on an anti-eco. Vinny picks up the slash, but I also just love the idea of Furia constantly going back to B in these late rounds. And you can see Taco's spot, and you'd be like, why, Taco, do you peek there? And it's because if they get any closer, I mean, the angle only gets less good the closer you get, even though he has the MP9. It's such a small box now, and you just don't have a lot of wiggle room. So you're almost in a one-and-done position. You can't get a medium-distance fight down the round.
Yeah, one and done. Just like where Taco found himself at the start of this round. He was very much committed to the wooden wall. Burr was supposed to be here to give cover and did trade efficiently. We sit 4v3 to the favor of MIBR, but oh man, he can't find any sanctuary or safety within those flames. Fur burnt to a crisp. Oh man, and they've outplayed him. Full rotation from Furia over to the A site. Sure enough, MIBR, they're pushing top middle right now. KNG is collecting that info. Furia could have just sprinted right in, but obviously they're going to play it safe, and that will buy time for MIBR to rotate, maybe.
It's a bit of a game of conditioning. This is a really aggressive flank. Yeah, nicely played here from KNG. It's exploited a weakness. Low on numbers this time for the CT side. First of all, tell your friends, okay? Don't even bother with the fights. Oh, okay, he's got the lineup. Oh my God. All the stars aligned. That was just beautiful.
Yeah, now MIBR, not the ones seeing stars. Furia stunned by the flank. Low HP for Caserado. 2 players to take ahead of him, both of which lining up in elevator. But he's got that bomb tuck, so at least a little injection of money here at the end of the round. Goes for the peek. He's gotten out. Oh, he was given a chance. Could have snapped back with the AK, but alas, we have it. MIBR break the streak of Furia. It's 1 round to 5, but at least the CTs are now on the board.
Yeah, and then versus the op, you know, low HP doesn't matter too much, so could have been a cool 1v2 attempt. This round brought to you by KNG. Nicely done there on that flank down the ladder. Intelligent play, kind of exploiting the same weakness that Furia did versus them when they were low on numbers, going to their version of mid in a sense, coming down the ladder after taking mid control himself, and yeah, finding a creative way to defend A, but at the same time pulling off the flank and gaining so much information for the rotations. I have a feeling if they didn't give him an opening for the 2K spray down or 3K spray down lineup, that he would have just called for rotates and stalked these guys to make sure that they could trade out effectively. But of course, if he sees an opportunity, he's going to strike because he's that good.
Fallen about to strike a couple players down. Good patience there. They were waving at him with their elbows. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Art on top of the head. Look at Taco's crosshair. He's not expecting a player to peek from the left here. Or maybe. Molotov.
Oh, it doesn't spread.
Not going to creep, no. Oh, until now. Yes, it does. A little delay, but it hits the mark. Art down. Fallen. Scoped. Stairs closed. He's going to have to extinguish the fire behind him, but in that time, KS Dorado does start to move himself closer. Another good volley of utility here gives him a chance, but Fallen within the chaos, still able to come out on top of this. And look at MIBR go. They break into this board, and now look to follow suit with 5 alive. Everybody standing rock solid from Fallen. 4 kills as he is now 11-4.
Yeah, Big Daddy Fallen with the nice hold to help out his team. Though Taco's utility, important too. It didn't feel like he knew until he threw that incendiary off the side of the stairs. And then it felt like they were going to get a false sense of security. That is Furia, because the Molotov hadn't spread to the point of touching Art. But it was a last tick situation. And since he was on the back end of the Molotov, once it hit him on the last tick, he had to take so much damage swinging out into Taco's spray.
Damn, lots of utility usage to try and vie for control at the bottom of A. Art on the side of the smoke. That's going to put these last 2 CTs in a very compromised spot. I mean, look at Art. He could wrap around short if he pleased, but he decides to go for the head and drops one. Aggression from Henny. In from short, 3v2 man advantage for Furia. That was a hell of a clash to start the round, Launders.
They're playing this round with no inhibitions here. Art was like, yeah, I'm going to peek you. Yeah, I'm going to peek you. They spray. He's like, yeah, I'm still going to peek you. And he just swings out, even though there's 2 people there waiting just for the kill because his teammates only have pistols. So always scary to fight a homeless guy, a team that has nothing to lose. That is Furia right now, who are coming into this with pistols. And now we're in the 2v1 to be able to close out the round.
Negligible grenade. Taco. Gonna throw a quick smoke. Tries to get vision on short. He's trying to sniff out Yuri, who goes for the peek, gets the duel, takes damage, but also gets it done. 6-2. Furia back in control.
I don't even know how Yuri plays that box so well. So first kill, of course, incredibly important for Art to believe that he can make space for free. If he gets that one early one on A ramp, he knows that he's forked another player, because there's another player whose spot is contingent on KNG staying alive, and now that player is going to be scared. So he takes that as a sign to just go ahead and kind of run up aggressively. And of course, because they have pistols again, they'll move even faster.
Ooh, Art, slippery snake, has tucked himself behind the sandbags. Walks back down ramp, tries to go for the spam. He's going to lose out on that engagement for now. But TRK, he's committed to behind the cover. Oh, and he dies. Through smoke? I'd love to see that in the replay if we can. I don't even understand how that angle works. Oh, I guess he came out. I thought he was still hiding behind that piece of metal. But it seems as though he attempted escape.
Look towards B. I think this is where Taco's palms get sweaty a bit in the round, because you come into the mid round a bit, a kill comes down for Furia, they threaten B constantly, and Taco's got to invent new ways to hold this site down. And yeah, ouch. Vinny's okay with that one. Let's just put it that way.
Looking to follow suit. Jumping over the boxes. Still so many angles to learn on this newer bomb site.
It's true. It's very true.
Trying to see what sticks, what stays. Definitely a intimidating position for Fur to be in. If he doesn't have info on mid, then at any point someone could come clamoring over construction. But all of that was a ruse. It fooled us all. It's to the A site that that bomb will head. Down on the ground for the time being. Yuri's trying to get it back up, but oh my god, they're just going to go for the kills instead. I mean, this is one of those moments where the bomb has, I mean, they don't have to retake yet. They're already in the process of the retake, and the bomb is only now attempted to be planted. 8 seconds, and the CT's really trying to force the issue, but they've given away their man advantage, and Fur with everything to do. He's going to need 4 kills in the round, and in the 1v3 does some damage, but finds nothing more than that. Furia, 7-2.
Fur with a full utility belt made that all possible, but where it falls apart is Furia's amazing ability to, while they're planting the bomb, also do damage through the smokes. And yeah, it doesn't even allow MIBR to get in reasonable positions to try to defend. You know, even going up to shoot our man back CT, who's just trying to peer over the smokes, maybe even just spam, ends up getting killed before the bomb gets planted. So gotta appreciate Furia's patience. Even when they're so close to the end zone, they don't fluff it, and they wait to see if any more utility gets baited out, and they still juggle the fact that they have a lot of time left over with the fact that they have teammates beside them and the opportunities that they can kill people that are rotating in.
You ever see those videos of idiots celebrating before they get the touchdown? They start like dancing at the 10-yard line.
Yes.
Furia, not one of those.
Not one of those, yeah. They're like a Usain Bolt who celebrates but still like breaks the world record.
Yeah. I remember you had stats on Usain Bolt and like the
he runs an average
on the top of
at
your
his
head.
peak speed. He runs at almost 12 meters per second.
Think about that.
12 meters per second. It's something.
I want everybody
11,
at home.
11 or
turn
12
your chair
meters
around.
per second.
Turn your chair around. Look at the floor behind you. Measure out 12 meters and try
like
to
you
cover
did
it in a second. It may be oddly specific. Don't shine the spotlight on me. Spotlight should be on Furia. They're making mincemeat of the anti-eco. It was all very tense for a moment. Everybody postured, but then once the smokes faded and Furia made their move, expected result. All the CTs die. We're at that 6-round lead for Furia, but at least the silver lining. It's MIBR back in with a bye.
That is nice. We'll see what the full kits can do. Really loving, you know, when Furia started playing this map initially, I thought they were going to be the very best Vertigo team. They ended up being more so at Astralis, and Furia were a team who really liked to go mid a lot and show us what they could do at mid. And I always really appreciated that about them because everybody else's Vertigo is so boring to watch because of all the A takes. But it's because that was the better strategy. Now we have Furia who kind of were good at that mid aspect already and are just in general good at exploring things other teams don't and are giving a lot of attention to B, which I really appreciate. And it's making for an interesting game and a difficult one for MIBR to try to find anything in.
These teams back in April clashed on Vertigo. Score 16-4 to the favor of Furia earlier this month in May. An improvement as MIBR got to 10 rounds. Maybe the third time's the charm. But at the moment, we're training over here on the A site. Again, short is where the victims fall for MIBR. KNG posted, but remember he is tagged. 19 health is not a lot to work with.
That's never where you want to lose the rounds, right? Yuri's kind of there for the taking. They just needed to get like an extra body shot in and don't get the kill. And now they have to play extremely timid. See if the bomb goes down, try to get some free damage in with utility. It's a much worse round, and they don't even know that it's the A site just yet because they're worried about lurks.
Bomb comes over, trying to hit the bang. He gets it slightly.
He's no Nafly.
No.
But yeah, you see this? Fur was still entertaining the thought that it could be the B site because Furia have attacked it so many times. And even rounds where they kind of had both sites open, decided to go back to A. And so they had no choice but to kind of play between both sites. And it's the worst of both worlds for MIBR here on the CT side. For Furia, they have the pick of the litter.
I think one of the more underrated aspects of the Vertigo changes, I mean, like B is the glaring difference. top middle with the lack of window and new construction is also a talking point. But I really like this new connector from lower B to lower A. That very narrow corridor and the deep corner tuck over towards where the old entrance used to be. As a map that, you've got to constantly be quiet downstairs in order to not give away audio cues to the players above you, those CTs who are always up there. It's nice. It's a good passage. It creates nice rotations, and I think it creates that anonymous feeling of like, is there someone at B? Is that threat still looming? Plays into the heads of the defense.
It speeds up the walking rotation by like 6 or 7 seconds, something like that. Walking through that hallway, so it's a huge boon to the T side. Huge. Anonymity.
That was the word that I didn't dare try. An automaton.
An amalgamation like of that. Automaton.
We'll get there one day. For now, it's Art. Has a little bit of a task ahead here as he swings the op around the closest corners of short A. Ooh. Okay, NG. Hey, you guys want to... Oh, another one. No way.
My... Yo, K-Serrano's like, could you guys be any louder? They're literally crouch walking. Holy crap.
Poor guys. MIBR. They try to take the initiative, and the moment KNG puts himself in position for the boost, those shots start coming through. It had been silent on this A bomb site right up until then. But Taco on the flank, and he is starting to crawl forward with Fallen getting a kill and Fur adding one to the kill feed. This is huge. Taco, he could be the difference maker. He's got the back turn, easy pickup, and the second on site goes down. Taco puts himself into the mix of the offense, and they never saw the backstab coming.
Did you see how K-Serrano didn't turn for any of that? I want to say that maybe that's a benefit of the silence M4 there. That actually had like a huge effect. Maybe there was slight comms on top of it, but he just had no idea. He could have turned his back to default and fought Taco if he wanted to.
I guess there's a world there too where like a short peek could have been the demise of the first player. So maybe he's not expressing just how dangerous or how close he was. Dangerous Taco was. Something like that. You fill in the words, all right?
Yeah. No, maybe it was hard to tell, how close
Vinny's
he was.
birthday.
Wow, happy birthday, Vinny.
Birthday.
I always hope that if I was a pro player that I'd play well on my birthday. And he's been playing pretty freaking well. So that's good.
That's nice. Mohan, what do you want to be when you're 21?
When I'm 21 next year? An alcoholic. No, I don't know. Powerball winner.
Get start early, right? Yeah. Here we go. Smokes and flashes at the bottom of B. A little bit of posturing going on here. I like that MIBR starting to seem a bit more adventurous. We got a little two-man setup at the forefront of top mid. But I think A continues to be the issue. Right now, it's just Art doing his thing.
Red and green, he's just doing his thing.
It's very silent up until the execution. Calm before the storm at A. Molotovs following suit. TRK with a Lady Luck gracing him for the first kill. It's going to slow down the bomb as smokes begin to fade. And Furia, well, they're just going to keep their crosshairs up. CTs can go ahead and do as they please, try to throw something into the mix, go for the spams and whatnot. But look how Furia just recomposed. They prepare for themselves for any sort of a push and come out better for it. 3 attackers still alive here in the post plant. Limited health for Fur.
Yeah.
You like what?
I just love how they're using K-Serrano's position to like pin the CTs into these 2 other choke points.
Ooh. That one choke point does still prevail. Taco, he's able to get out. K-Serrano sent flying to the depths below. Smoke on top of the bomb.
Smoke.
This is going to create one of those chaotic situations. Look how far that timer's gone already. And he's killed the player who's supposed to give cover, but Taco, if only he had a little bit more. Unfortunate for Taco, unfortunate for MIBR. That one comes down to the wire.
That was a really beautiful shot on the Fur, though. He had to do that right then. That's nuts. That's really well done by him, moving around that smoke. It was off by a smidgen, but he did have to go around it. But here, he gets Quesorado gets knocked off of the side of the building, but for the beginning parts of the round, he's able to peek over the default box and stop them from taking any boosted spots to watch the smoke. They can take that fight, burst him if they want to, but he's very comfortable up there. And I think that's been a really good part of their executes. And that's when they're planting the bomb, delaying, waiting for someone to peek, using him to kill that guy. And then if no one peeks there, they're spamming the other 2 choke points, and that's how they're getting a lot of the kills.
Settle down now, Art. Switching over to the Glock here versus the Deagles. Sometimes I feel like Art just has a kill switch in his head. Like he may or may not be a cyborg programmed to entry frag. And when they flick that switch, he just sees black and goes. It works, seeing as he created such a distraction at the A site that B falls for free. But
yeah, I mean,
the Glock shots were ambitious.
Yeah, Art watches anime, so he's probably got a death note. Would you go for it?
Would I? Probably. What do I have to lose? My credibility?
Round 14.
They're lining up and making lots of noise, so Henny's just playing around the smoke, using the audio to his advantage. Tries to continue the spam down, but he's got them all. Dead to rights. 3 frags for Henny at the close. 11 rounds for Furia. Still just 3 for MIBR. CT side has not been kind on Vertigo today.
You know what's funny is that the B site should be easier to retake now because it's easier to take because the site cover has been nerfed. But what's changed as well is that forward aggressive control on B is a bit better for the CTs, like to hold down the stairs, and I think that's what they're trying to encourage. But that's where Ts can play in post plants while CTs mainly retake from CT spawn into kind of bad spots. So it's almost become a harder site to retake, which was a big problem from before, as well as an easier site to take, which usually doesn't happen at the same time.
Hold on. We've got a good exchange going on down here at the bottom of A. Art is the first casualty. It took a lot of effort from MIBR to get that far, but at least they've established the 5v4. And I like what you mentioned about the B site kind of changing. I think that the biggest hit to the retake attempts is really losing mid-window. You know, being able to go toolbox window and flank around into the retake, being able to pinch like that, unless you have a player from the base of the stairs coming up, sure, you can pinch with the new top construction, but the only thing that you're peeking simultaneous is, say, green boxes or the bomb site. You don't actually get that deep vision like you would through window. So it's all fun and games.
Yeah.
You know, I like it when Valve shakes things up. TRK is shaken out of his hive, tries to hide behind boxes and dies after just 1, but still gets the job done, finds a little bit of information, and we can see MIBR splitting their forces to try and get this 4th round. It's their final attempt on the defense to improve the score, and here it comes. It's an all-in from Furia, just charging headstrong up ramp, no short control whatsoever. Quesorado, he's looking to take the top of the boxes to get the job done. He's using his teammate for the boost, and Fur's just gonna lurk right on through the smoke. 1v2 for Henny, denied. It's a 4th for MIBR.
Yeah, at least they get the 4th round. They pull it off on the retake A. They've been struggling on retakes on both sides, so this is kind of nice. You know, we flip this over, who knows what happens. We hear Brazonic says about 11 4s. I believe it. I think Furia, overall though, amazing half. I thought they played really well.
A solid one at that. So we'll be back with the second half in just a break.
I remember days that we spent. I remember time that we made, yeah. Thinking on the day that we met. Hope you know I'm glad that we waited. Can't forget those walks in the cold, long drives into nowhere. Tell me how it feels when I hold you tight like we don't care. I'll come whenever you call. I'll run right into your arms, oh, hold on whenever you fall. 'Cause you changed me, ooh, you changed me. I remember days that we spent. I remember time that we made. I'm thinking on the day that we met. Hope you know I'm glad that we waited. Can't forget those walks in the cold, long drives into nowhere. Tell me how it feels when I hold you tight like we don't care. I'll come
We're live. Hello, everybody.
We are back. We've returned. Thank you for joining us. Hey, everybody, take a moment to appreciate what's going on here. DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. Separated by regions, separated by distance. And yet, the Counter-Strike fam out in full force. It's one thing that joins us all. CS.
I'm like too daft to read the minimap, but I think they're coming A.
Yeah, I look at that. I'm just thinking, what map is this, man? And for some reason, my brain can never piece it together. But yes, they are clumped, grouped, collected outside of this A bomb site in full force. MIBR ready for it. They had the utility. They tried to big brain the frag grenades, but Vinny, he doesn't need a brain because he has 2 guns. And the first one connects, starts popping them off, rattling with the Berettas. A real threat here on short, and there's the flanking from Art as well, so goodbye.
Wow, they got stopped in their tracks. Didn't have time to go for the bomb plant. The Art's lurk just turned into like a combat mechanism to help his teammates who are also fighting in the exact same point. I mean, MIBR, that's getting caught with their pants down, really. They haven't even turned the corner on A ramp. They could have held the flank, got a kill. They didn't expect Art to be there. They didn't realize Vinny was pushed up with 2 freaking guns. So there's a whole bunch of things they got caught off guard by. That's tough.
Not really ready for the pace of Furia.
Yeah, they're insane pace. They skipped 112.
Tenacity of the flank. But like you said, also could have been holding that with 1 player. That entire situation doesn't go that way if 1 person is back in the bottom of A watching flank.
It's true. That's true. It's true, and it's weird because there's not... It feels strange to watch flanks on this map. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now. And of course, you know, we're seeing it happen, so of course we should be watching the flanks. But it feels like right now, not that many teams are taking the risk of flanking. We saw KNG do it in the first half, and we saw Art do it just now. And that's making me think that we're probably going to see it more. But, you know, the last series we saw with the Straws and North, there was, I think, like 0 flanks that entire game. So
remember when you could just drop down the elevator shaft from top mid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a thing. So
yeah, so
that's when flanks were weird. Let me keep it up though. Whoa, okay, Art. That's a little much.
You need a new chaos drop now that you can't do it at B, I guess.
He's working it. I mean, if anybody's gonna pull it off, I put my stock on Art. However, this round, he has made a fool, as those T's were already ready for his shenanigans. There are still a couple of players from Furia here poised on the ramp, and I like the way that Yuri's just tucked into this one. This is one of those unorthodox spots to hold. Same with Vinny, crouched behind sandbags. Or maybe it's more predictable than I expect, but they don't expect that. He decides to charge forward. He had 2 HP, and Vinny caught fumbling his guns. Can Henny, with the element of surprise from the sandbags, come up with more than one? No, sir. Just the first kill and a good bit of damage onto Fallen, but he puts all of the job onto the shoulders of KSCERATO.
They spotted to hear him.
Taps, and he's gone.
Yeah, KSCERATO's going to be hurt as well, so the bomb's going to start to walk back, but he's faking that. On top of that, fall back, which means now there's a flank in play. He's spotted again. Oh my god. But now the bomb's going to go back, and he's not heard on the rotate. So there's actually there's a chance.
If he predicts this peak from Taco.
Oh my god, dude. There's a freaking chance. Oh, never mind.
He's been bamboozled.
He double unjuked himself.
Yep. Brain bulged too big and he fell on his face. Although
he's not far away.
Not over. Taco, he's got all the health in this situation. Fallen 20 HP. KSCERATO just hard clears this corner. I mean, Fallen's not anywhere to be found right now. So KSCERATO does have individual duels divided, but he just has to clean close right. And he will. But he loses out on the gun duel. Crisp aim from Taco is what prevails here in a very crucial round. MIBR already starting to chip away at that lead, but it is a huge lead. Don't forget.
Really cool to talk about the mind games of that 1v3. You brought up how the floors are paper thin on this map and you can hear everything from below and above you, and how that can be used to your advantage. The manipulation goes both ways in some sense, and that made it tricky for MIBR to figure out, because they themselves got thinned out and lost a kill without a trade.
Single scout, a couple of upgraded pistols, but this is MIBR's chance to bully with economic advantage. Gonna start taking a little bit of damage here. The pistol's popping off. Ooh, big headshot versus KNG, but he still stands. They know that there's a second one inside of this bomb site. Bomb not needing to commit at this moment, of course. Still more than a minute to play off of.
No reason to get hasty.
Nades aplenty. Good to see the utility being thrown forward here. Taco, though, just the one. Uh-oh. Deagle's starting to do him dirty. Scout shot lands as well. This is huge damage. These are huge frags, and more importantly, that bomb is now stranded. This could be real hard to watch, but no, sir. Fallen and KNG start to bring it back. Again, 2 of these 3 remaining members of MIBR are incredibly low, but Vinny is as well. For a moment, Furia seemed to have health, and Fallen's had enough. He just charges forward, gets his 19th kill in the game, takes that lead down to just 7, but it's Furia 13, MIBR 6.
He's got that 19th kill, that amazing 4K in the first half. He's definitely contributed a lot of impact kills in this game. Fortunately, it's amounted to 6 rounds in total. There are more problems than just a single player's performance in this game. For them to come back into it, Furia, I mean, they're going to play with a lot of bravado, take some risks here as they have a lead. This may be one of them. KSCERATO, hand over face, peeking into the A ramp into a bunch of T's. Risked his life to go for that opening kill aggressively. Art's going to do the same on the other part of the map. But it's kind of evenly watched here from both sides.
They boost up into the Molotov, which doesn't help their HP, but 5 versus 3, they're still fine. I'm curious, Mohan, what happens here if Furia's aggression, which we saw straight out the gate on their T side, understandably, especially once it was working so well. But now that they're on the defense, we are still seeing that type of like hyper-aggressive pace over on this A ramp, and I would argue it's not working. MIBR have good angles at holding this back. They've got the lineups on the spam, and with all those things considered, I'm starting to wonder, like, what happens if MIBR force Furia into a slower pace, a comfort zone for MIBR in comparison, and this lead starts to dwindle because all of a sudden this is not looking nearly as one-sided as it once was.
Well, I would ask you then, like, if you do slow down the pace and fold under the pressure and then continue to lose rounds, what's the best adjustment?
Right. Your options would be to continue the aggressiveness and just try to diversify the playbook, different directions perhaps, or hold off on utility, let players take map control and just hold angles, I suppose, but that doesn't seem very Furia-esque to me.
Right. Maybe it's their style. Maybe it's their confidence on this map specifically when it comes to retakes. They seem to be really good at holding the sites. So, you know, that might feed into their psychological belief that they're kind of scared about the thought of retaking. Maybe they're just not as good at it. And obviously there's a lot of unexplored stuff with this map. And in their scrims, they've seen more success in preventing the plants as opposed to saving utility after the bomb has gone down. So, yeah, maybe if MIBR can win this battle, they'll expose Furia being one-dimensional. That all being said, Furia had such a good half that even if they have a poor half on the CT side, they can still trip over the finish line. And that's MIBR's biggest concern. You know, one player having a great round means Furia could potentially force a save.
Oof.
Whoa, okay.
Like a peek like that, already prepared for it. Fallen. Quick headshot. And looking to follow suit through the ramp, but I will also praise Furia here. They got their rotators in quickly, although going to be caught by surprise. Vinny doesn't expect these players to have walked up already. I think Henny was maybe supposed to have this covered, and it goes from bad to worse. The 3 weapons that they had saved are the first 3 kills of the round. So now what's left of Furia is so ill-equipped for the situation that you know there's no chance. 5 versus 2, no guns for the CTs. They're going to fish them out of all the corners, all the cubbies. All the kills.
Yeah, we could potentially have a long game on our hands. I wonder also what the round looks like if Furia are able to get that 5v4 early. They continue to blindly push down ramps on B on A as well, or do they change it a little bit? That's actually a beautiful kill from Fallen. It was almost a pre-fire up into the corner because that's the only thing that's not smoked out. Pays off. It's going to scare Furia a little bit more. So what do we have now? The buy up. I think we've got a tack paused here for Furia where they can talk about things. And this is a situation where on the CT side, they have a lot to discuss about how they're going to approach a lot of this A ramp presence. You know, I think one of the last things that you can do on this map is think about how to big flank, as we talked about. It just happens so seldomly. But is that something that they want to employ now? Or in their minds, is that a bit too obvious? And instead, how do they stack A to the point that they feel comfortable but not leave B too weak?
Find out. Another big, quick clash over here on the ramp. Look at Art. I mean, they're not shying away from what they want to force work. Fur. He doesn't expect Art to be that much deeper. I mean, again, just the chaotic nature of that situation, all the utility, all the different weapons, and all of the different players trying to piece together what the hell is going on. Seems like MIBR come out on the bottom of it in the end there. Now Art revealing himself. He's got himself 3 of the kills until Henny's on the board. Fallen has already hidden.
I think Fur didn't hear anything because of the flashbang. Like, he might have been full flashed and then Art ran by him. And you would think comms would help him out, but...
There's also a world where Art gets that first kill and then holds the S key for once in his life and goes back up ramp.
Right.
You know, the player who had died would not have had the call.
When Art gets that kill, you think he's probably good, right? Like, oh,
kill this back
kill.
Up.
No, he goes the long way and ends up seeing Fur on top of that. Maybe that's how uncomfortable they are with the thought of giving up the A site, that they would rather fight as hard as they are for this A aggression. I think you're onto something, you know, with the way that you analyze the situation. But again, because they had such a good half, they don't even really have to find out if any other strategy works. If they can pull this off once every 3 rounds, MIBR have a serious problem on their hands.
Of course, you know, in their own mind, there's going to be a reason why it hasn't worked X amount of times so far. But with that score advantage, you get so many chances. Right off this, right off that. Try it a 4th time and Art pops off. Suddenly, you check the scoreboard again, and yeah, you are 2 rounds away from taking your map pick. So no need to overanalyze it, perhaps.
Wow.
Just let Art do Art and let Henny hold mid. He's picked up another kill, and that's a 5v4 for Furia. You were talking about where these 5v4s come from and what Furia looks like once they've got them. Well, they extend the advantage. Further damage versus Taco and Fallen as well.
Henny just kind of standing out in the open, found a nice off angle to work with for that 1 kill. And because it was a lurk, no one around to trade his off angle. And that just obviously feeds into more and more frags as a team gets more desperate, more scared, like a wounded animal starts to jump at any opportunity. And a 5v 5v4 turns to a 5v3 to a 5v2 now.
Come on, TRK. Give us something to talk about. He's got the 1v1 here with Yuri. Gets the first, but Art, quick exchange. Now it's all on Fallen, who has played lights out, I may add. 21 and 15 at the moment. However, it's now known to the CTs exactly where he's at. He's got 6 seconds. Get the kill.
Oh,
he can pull this off.
he's got it.
No.
Oh,
No.
he actually could have put the bomb down in 1v2'd.
I wanted the
Damn.
Fallen clip. I wanted to yell my lungs out. And instead, he comes off plant. I mean, there's a world as well where somebody is sitting inside of elevator smoke, and I think that's what he anticipates. He goes for the plant, someone comes through smoke, and then, you know, he would have had the bomb. Yeah. I mean, unless they both come out and he tries to get kills, I'm not sure. Chaotic situation as well, you know, like you have as much time as we have to talk about it, he's got to process and make those decisions all the while, so.
That's true.
I forgive Fallen.
Oh my God, look at Art. I mean, he just did it again.
Yep. And what's beautiful about this situation is he's doing it in the 4v5. They've already lost a player, so you know MIBR are going to be confident with this moment. Fallen's still watching smokes, even though there's a player to the left of Art. Don't forget, there's a T wrapping back now. TRK is going to deal with that. Threat neutralized.
And KNG gets a power up. And they still regrouping here. It looks like Furia have decided to just overstack A, which is the completely wrong call. And Henny doesn't have any information, so that makes me believe that they're going to commit to this A play because they know they're doing it blind in the first place, just off of a feeling. It doesn't seem like there's any false call. But does that mean they're going to try to retake? I think that's the big question.
I would think not. I mean, we know how the CT economy rolls nowadays. Winning a single round could be a death sentence.
But yeah,
So
once
keep your
again,
guns.
isn't it crazy? Like, once again, Furia are so afraid of the bomb going down that they would rather gamble stack a site to defend against it than to try to allow for a plant or rely on a really amazing hold and then retake. They want to do anything but retake, basically, here on the CT side. But it's like one of those situations where it's like that's their issue, but at least they know who they are. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, there's
yeah,
self-awareness in that.
I get exactly what you're saying. The game plan's struggling, but at least they're not in the middle of an identity crisis.
They know what they're good at.
worse.
They know what they're good at. They know what they're bad at. This is just the lay of the land for them at the moment.
Yep.
Oh, hopefully that's all true, and then they're not just playing badly.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Still an op up in Fallen's hands. Curious to see what gets purchased around the saved pieces, and it was minimal at that. About $3,000 combined spent here between Art and Yuri. Get some armor, get a smoke, wait for the man next to you to die, take his gun, save money. It's all calculated. Taco over here towards bottom B gets into an engagement that costs him half his health, but it seems like the Deagle of Art is hopeful that someone's going to walk up A. And I mean, if you're MIBR, you have to wonder, what is the A defense? If there's not somebody just plowing their way down ramp, then what are they up to?
Just Furia things, really. They've netted a kill on the boost on the left last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this one is, it's almost better because now he's dodging bullets here. He's going to try to retreat, and he will fall back in time. I was going to say, it's nice to do this boost as the second one because the T's would have already cleared the original boost spot by the time you're exposed to it.
Yeah, they're still committing. I mean, there's even spread here. There's still 3 rifles on the site.
Smoke down at 30 seconds, that's huge. Either somebody's walking through that smoke into the pistol point blank, or they've got to circumvent it and just go all up ramp. But 25 seconds left over. I mean, Vinny, he just needs to stay back. Stay back, stay in cover, try and stop the bomb. It's MIBR to charge headstrong into this site. A little bit of spam trying to be thrown forward here, trying to create this distraction, the chaos. And that's a huge kill. TRK clearing out short now enables MIBR to easily fall back into their post plant, you would think. There are still kills elsewhere. Henny's flank, bottom of all of this, puts things into a pinch. And TRK again with what is one of the most crucial kills of the moment. First he gets short, now he deals with flank, and then MIBR are back at bat trying to close out this clutch. Chaos Serato denied, and MIBR take 10.
All credit to TRK, as you mentioned. 2 most critical kills there. Those are the 2 most threatening positions for the A ramp. The players on A ramp cannot focus on defending the bomb if they have to worry about the flank and if they have to worry about whoever it was there with the CZ. That was as you mentioned. You know, they weren't hard kills. They weren't pretty kills by any means. They weren't like clean headshot, one tap, flip reactions, but they were very important kills. They took out 2 very important positions. And it looks like another 2 players get bested real fast as well as MIBR start now to climb into double digits.
Clearing out the site, trying to deal with the rotators as the Deagle's next at bat. Just the 1 for Yuri. And that's it. That's MIBR officially improving on their previous Vertigo score, something they had done from game 1 to game 2, from now game 2 to 3. So we give them props for that. They're getting closer. They're figuring out this Furia system. And I feel like Furia realized that. You know, I don't think at any point they've continued to charge down A ramp, thinking that they had them by surprise.
They're asking for MIBR to participate in a gambit down the A ramp, where they risk it all to fighting Art, who can be incredibly tricky and loves to take risks. Oh my God, KNG actually got legged. That is a step in the right direction for Furia. Not only that, but they've halted the A aggression a little bit with an op on the site. This is going to be a tough round now for MIBR.
I really like how you frame it. It's like Furia, they invite MIBR to meet them on A ramp. MIBR know exactly where they could find fights if they want to take them. There's no element of surprise.
And if you don't participate in the gambit, then Art gets all of this map control for free and you lose.
Yep, and at such a lopsided scoreline after such a successful T-half from Furia, it's only going to take it working once or twice, and it has already worked once. We saw Art go down, blow away Fur from inside the smoke, etc. Now it's Henny at bat, off, grabs the double, up third, and this is all you needed, baby. 4 near 5 shots from Henny, all hitting the mark until the last. Fallen's gonna have to pick up all of these pieces. He gives chase and gets that second kill. 35 seconds to try and clutch this, but he's gonna fall right back into the flank, and just like that, it's Furia taking Vertigo. 1 round of an improvement off of their last showing, but it's the same result. Furia dominate on the tall box. Vertigo is theirs.
That was exciting. It was a little bit messy, but man, that was so fun to watch. And it was so cool to see Art kind of confident enough to make plays like that, and to see the psychology of that meta down the A ramp develop over the course of those rounds, and see, you know, Furia being very aware of their weaknesses, but playing to their strengths and not focusing on that, and certainly not playing scared.
And getting the job done at the end of the day. That's map 1 in the back pocket. Of course, we've got more coming your way, folks, so don't go too far. We'll take a break, have the desk, and be back with more Counter-Strike.